guys. Billy and Glenn, you there?
Oh, we're right here, Dark Milo, and here's Billy. And hey, Dark Milo, how's it going?
Well, I'm in charge again. Mr. Pennypacker's used some more of his vacation time. Wait a minute. We're not a corporation. What the heck? Yeah, he's on. Well, I really should state it. He says he's on vacation, but we all know, as we've learned last episode, he has a lot of other projects, and there's also some black projects as well that it's kind of like how there's black military projects, and with Mr. Pennypacker, he has other stuff that I am not been made aware of as far as projects, and it's just probably something in a different dimension or something. I still haven't quite figured this whole thing out myself, even though the movies basically say I should know more, and I don't know. I'm just ahead on the shelf, guys.
Dark Milo, what's the plans?
Well, as you remember when you were playing the hunting games, like, I don't really care because it's not really my show. If it was my show, you'd be playing Fortnite because the reality is that is what gets the views. It's funny, Mr. Pennypacker, I gotta be careful. I gotta be really careful about my opinions here. But just saying, you go to Twitch, you go to Kick, you go to all those sites. What are the top gaming? It's Fortnite. It's Warzone, and it was kind of going in that direction until you two came in and took it from me. Just like Freighter took it away from me. Just like so many. Well, what's going on with you guys?
Well, I'll let you know. We earned this show. We earned it. Your freighter gave it to us, and
Oh yes, oh yes, that's right. Freighter gave it to you. Freighter always gives lots of shows to people, and usually it ends up getting taken away from them. I was supposed to be the host, with the most after, all those guys, like he was getting all these people on his show, that didn't know anything about video games. I've been fairly quiet about it for a little while now, and I don't know. I think maybe it's time we talk about it. And he hires a lot of what he does. Oh, okay, never mind. I won't do it because Mr. Pettypacker might come down hard on me. But let's just say, he gets a lot of people who don't know anything about video games. They may have played Coleco when they were younger or something. Really, guys? We're gonna talk about Coleco? Like, these kids out here have never heard of that system. Oh, I shouldn't eat that cookie. Okay, well, what about you guys?
I'm just excited about playing Skyrim, and Billy here. He's been hard studying, and yeah, it's I'm feeling so much sophisticated.
Oh yes, yes. I've been seeing your essays and stuff, Billy. You're really getting freaking smart. Of course, I don't know why we can't come up with any scripts for you to show the audience that you are getting smarter. But nonetheless, fantasy. He's getting smarter. Okay, so that's the problem. The problem is when you have like a bigger story, but then you gotta build up to it, and then if you don't really feel the energy at the time in the mid section of that, I've actually seen some TV shows like that. Like there's some TV shows, some of these British soaps are like that. Like they kind of have like this middle ground they have to pad out because they're not ready yet. So what they'll do is they'll have characters actually literally walk in and interrupt the story. Like, you know what I mean? Like so and so's like, listen, I got to get this off my chest. I really got to tell you this. And wait. And someone comes in on the scene and goes, wait. No. You got an appointment right now. Okay. Or wait, or no, 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 no. The funniest thing I ever saw on a TV show was it was a British soap called Emmerdale, and what it was is um, there's there's a woman who's pregnant with the other guys living in the house. You know, the guy's in a long term relationship, but he had a one night fling with this girl, and she's pregnant. She's been pregnant. He can't take it anymore. He's going to tell the other woman because he can't handle all this guilt and all this. So, so they've had it. He can't have it. This is going to be the day of reckoning. You know that no one's going to forget. And then all of a sudden, the 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 woman that he cheated on, her daughter knows about all that's going on and has been overhearing it. So she pretends to have a heart attack. It's literally the funniest thing ever, guys. And she's like, like, oh, my heart, I don't know what's going on, help me. And it stops the scene from basically blowing up. Because, when a scene blows up, all you got is the aftermath, and then you got to start a whole new story. You could kind of build what you got to do is then after the aftermath, you build the character who just got shocked real bad. You build that character back up, and then you have to start a whole new story. That's how it works. Okay, you guys go play Skyrim. Mr. Pennypacker's on vacation, so you're gonna be playing like Skyrim and maybe Coin Up game next 2 weeks, and then after 2-3 weeks, and then if you guys want to play, he's gonna be gone for a while. Unlike last time, he's gonna be gone for a while. So you guys could just play WWE 2K. I don't care. Okay.
Well, Billy, playing Skyrim here, and that's some good points Dark Milo made about things like, well, actually, what it is I thought about it is in an analogy. Oh, well, I like to hear about an anthology. I mean, I remember the Beatles anthology. That was some good stuff. I remember it was like 3 box sets, well, Glenn, that's an anthology. That's like a series. An analogy is like an example, a story, as an example of a story. See, like, oh, cracky, he's getting real super smart, people. Oh, hell yeah, of course they have. Well, see, like in an analogy of this, of what Dark Milo's talking about, but even what Mr. Pennypacker talked about, like if you sit and think about it, though, I mean, this project that you're seeing, and what we do here at Sattergrad is like Mr. Pennypacker talked about, Club Sattergrad, with just girls dancing and music, and that gets the views, and that may even someday be secondary income. Well, the only problem is that's creatively flat, meaning like, is there any creativity to that? Oh, crackies, no, there isn't. Exactly. It's like, so the analogy I think of in my head is kind of like a rusted out tractor in the middle of a field that hasn't had any gasoline in it. So like one day you try to go siphon some gasoline from it. Guess what? There's nothing in there. Yeah, you see the tractor. Everybody sees the tractor. It's a big old rusty tractor. Been there for 30 years. But guess what? There's nothing in there. It's no creative gasoline at all. But with this stuff, yeah, no one sees it, but it's the thing mowing the field. It's like an invisible tractor, It's actually, this is the creativity. Well, that's true, It's just, it's funny, like after listening to Pennypacker and Milo and all that, I went ahead and I checked out Kick, just to see what the top stuff is, and you're really Pennypacker was right. It's really the it's the demorphamine kicking type stuff. And like you have people streaming boxing fights and stuff because people like violence. People like to see people get beat up. Yeah, well, yeah, they do. And then and that guy needs some skin conditioning here. But yeah, he needs some kind of skin treatment. But what it is, but then you have the TNA, the TNA, it's Nash, and that stuff has always got tons of viewers. I was actually shocked. I checked it out, and there was a woman, and she claimed to be the first partner MILF. Are we even allowed to talk about that here on YouTube anymore? Nobody watches us, so I don't think we. Well, we have no advertisers or sponsors or monetization, so I think we're kind of free. Well, maybe not. But look, look, man, starting to get a little sleepy headed here. I'm just collecting all the flowers here. It's pretty cool stuff. Uh, I hate that when you're in the middle of some like major thing and then all of a sudden your brain just. Well, it's because when you don't take ADHD medicine, that's there's a cost to things. There's a cost to things. You may not have to buy that medication or pay more insurance, but you pay off in the long run by just being kind of having short memory. So like yeah, so you know, TomoKick.com, I was checking it out, and yeah, it was this woman, and she had some of the worst boobs I ever seen. I mean, you could see through the shirt, even though the TOS thermally states you can't really do that. And there's no report button. There's no report button. I don't know how. I watched this one woman, and she admitted she reports channels. I'm like, how do you do that? Because it must be that you have to just go to some kind of address or something to report it. It's like they don't even have a built-in report system. It's probably because they really don't want to know about it unless they're forced to do something about it. But yeah, so and it's like Pennypacker was saying, it's really, you think about, it's high dimorphamines. It's you got the women, it's like it's kind of like a Scarface. You got the women, you got the money, you got the money, you got the power. Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't do a Scarface impression because we're trying to keep in character. Here, we don't really got anyone on the show who can do an Al Pacino impression. But yeah, it's true. You got the money, you got the women, and you got the power. So that's that stuff happens. That happens. Oh, back to smithing. This is a very relaxing stuff, as long as you got the material. So that's why I was trying to, maybe the other day, trying to do some adventuring, but it didn't really go well. And because you see what we're trying to do is get smithing. We're trying to just keep grinding smithing, but also try to get haggling up. And getting haggling up is really hard because you pretty much just got to keep buying and selling from the from the vendors, and the problem with the vendors, you'd think like, just talking to somebody that gets the skill up. No, it doesn't. It's just buying and selling. So it's kind of like, the way I see it is like, say I bought a dagger right now, and by the way, you know what I hate is when you get into too much of a rhythm in this game. Sometimes you just sell all your stuff to the vendor, and it messes you up because they're going to make you pay double to get it all back. So then you got to go back to an old load, so you don't know how far back you're going. So that's really the painful thing about it, but like, but you were talking about Kick, and really it's not just Kick, it's Twitch too. I really should state it, because I know Pennypacker is out there, and he really don't want us to be bad mouthing the new site. But I think it's just it's Shattered Ground. We've seen it all. We've seen I think Pennypacker kind of nailed down every site when he called them a Chinese. Um, he calls it Chinese law, and what it is Chinese law. You make beforehand. You make every kind of rule ever possible. You can't impersonate. You can't do this. You can't do that. But then when you get to the site, you notice that almost nobody is following TOS. But then all of a sudden, you'll start hearing bans. Bans start happening. And what you find out is it depends on who you know. Meaning, you know the right people in that site, they're never going to get you banned. You basically got a free ride. Oh, we got Lydia now. So these are just, and I know someone out there is going to say, we need a new platform then. Buddy, it's going to start the same way there too. And they always do the same thing, that their TOS. Their TOS always looks like it looks like, Chao Ping himself signed off on it. And the whole point is you make it look as strict as possible, because then later on when the governments start to say to these people, what are you people doing? And they're like, listen, this is our terms of services. And they look at the terms of services, they go, okay, yeah, okay, maybe the lawyers too. Probably a lawyer wrote the terms of service. So I don't know, Billy. I think there's just times where I'm kind of like, I should not pay the internet anymore. Don't pay the internet anymore. Just have the Encyclopedia Britannica, have my DVD collection, and my comic book collections, my books, and all that. And that could be my internet. Well, technically, how is that any different than what we do anyways on the internet? Well, I mean, yeah, there's some things on the internet like maps and different systems, but even that you could do yourself if you're smart. You know, yeah, you're not going to get the GPSs and stuff. The GPSs make life so much easier. I think the most out of the internet is if, say, you went to London, of course you want Google Maps, because then it's going to keep track of you on the map. You're like almost like a video game. That's your mini map, basically. You'd be like, well, I need to go to the Lyceum Theater at this time. Well, then you just follow the map, and and there's I sure it's gotten to the point where you can even have a waypoint put up. I've seen everything. I've seen like live streamers actually where literally on your phone there'll be arrows that go down like the street, on the device, and you could just follow that, and you cannot get lost. Well, maybe there's a possibility it could screw up. I'm assume that. That's a good point. Yeah. How have we spent enough time not talking about the game? Yeah, we never seem to really talk about the game. Oh my goodness! Oh, that's some nightmare sauce right there. That guy's still coming out of the ground. Yeah, that's. See, folks, this is not anniversary edition. This is just special edition. I know what you're thinking. This is getting to be like Star Wars, where, well, which special edition are you talking about? And someone goes, wait, what are you talking about? There's only one special edition. Oh no, did you not know there's like three different versions where They just continuously kept adding and adding, adding and adding more stuff. You know, like you have the first special edition where the Jabba the Hutt looks kind of crappy looking and shit and stuff. And then in the second version of that, he looks better, he looks cleaner, and then in the third version, it's like they touched up everything. Even the sky doesn't look the same as the original movie, and you know, it's just, you know what I mean. Like they just like kept, and then they have like Vader screaming no, and exactly. It's, I remember when I watched that, I went, you know, this, I understand this is his movies. You know, it's not my movies, but after a while, it's not the same thing I saw in the theater. It's just something totally different, and it's like, it's because he's trying to make those movies line up with the prequels. You know, that's what he's doing. Wow, yeah, holy crap, mud crabs like crazy. That's the one thing this game's changed. Like when this game first came out, mud crabs you can basically beat with one hit. And they did actually kind of like ramp up their difficulty a little bit. They made them like fight back a little bit. You're not gonna die to a mud crab, but you, I understand. They just were kind of like, you know, we really need to make these guys just fight a little bit more, you know. So Club Saturngrad, I'm still getting my mind around that, and well, you know, it's, you know, Mr. Pennypacker. You never know. He's you know, kind of the, you know, he's very much just like Freighter, you know, and how I remember Freighter, you know, he mentioned, you know, like really, if it wasn't for his ADC and autism, you know, he'd probably be too frustrated to ever do the show again. He said, and but it's just it entertains himself, and he says that's, you can see this time we're not focusing on the Giants. You know, we're going to focus on trying to. There's a bunch of bandits we need to take care of because we do like to go do these bartenders. These if you go to a bartender's, you know you can pick up jobs and you can pick up quests and stuff, and those quests don't. You know they keep giving you those generic quests. So I kind of like doing that. Kind of reminds me of Daggerfall. But yeah, we yeah, as far as kick, you know, like, you know, it's just it's, you know, it really, Mr. Pennypacker's right. You have to. It's the women. If you got the women, you got the men's attention. You know, and I think he's coming up with more ideas as far as how to keep that from getting stale. He says, because he says that the only problem is if you play like, you know, if you play a clip where you just got two women dancing all the time, it's going to become repetitive, and nobody's going to pay any attention to it. So what you need to do is actually have several clips, maybe every 20 minutes, change one out or something like that, or then that way a person's not like, okay, I've seen that girl now 5, 8, 10, 20 times, whatever. So maybe if you do that, that would be ideal. Yeah, that probably would be ideal. Yeah. But he's right, you know, that creatively though it's poor. It's if let's say this was the last episode, you know, and you know, and you know, it would get boring because you would, yeah, maybe you're getting followers and maybe eventually subscribers, and that becomes a secondary income. But the reality is you still got to deal with the fact that still got to deal with the fact that you know if a project doesn't have that creative writing to it, like where you're just making stories, you're incorporating video games or whatever, like what do you think? Dark Milo, he said that the problem is that we should be just playing Fortnite. Well, Billy, that's what we fought him for, to get the show back, because he was going to do it. You know, I'm so sorry, folks. I had to put the doggo down. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I know no one's watching to hear the apology, but if someone were, the dog attacked first. So it's just self defense. Good old God given self defense. Okay, so we're just doing our best here. Okay, so yeah, so and he wants to do the Fortnite, and he said that out of the top games on Kick, that's Fortnite, and I'm like, I know Frater. Frater would fight to the end to make sure we never become like that, because we would just be. Well, yeah, I mean, but I think you have to understand that logically, it makes sense, because first off, think about it. If 500 people want to watch Fortnite, but only 8 people want to watch us play the things that we do, where it's be Skyrim or Mario Brothers or something. I mean, think about it logically. Like, oh, Billy, you're. Oh. That's that. See, the Billy I knew, he would have been like, well, we played a game. Well, I think he would just say Billy, but I understand that's your AI. Your AI is saying, actually, and the according to metrics. Well, that's the course. The metrics say, listen, it's just the metrics. The metrics say that basically people want to see Fortnite. They don't want to see in the Warzone. They don't want to see. Oh, I can literally see Dark Milo smiling right now. Yeah, he is. You're agreeing with him. Well, he is right. Oh no, I'm losing you. Yeah, the heel turn is going fast, boy. You don't understand. It's not about metrics. It's about ethics. It's about principles. You know that it doesn't. See, and the reality is like 100 people can agree on something, but if 2 people literally say no, you're wrong. You're all wrong, and it's that's you don't understand. That's actually what's important. Is that is what's important. But again, because Billy, you're a quantum computer, your AI is not allowing you to. You're the real Billy would have understood. Well, actually, in reality, the old Billy would have just said his name. That's actually true. I kind of like that Billy. He was not, he didn't used to fight. Like I we just want to play video games. We don't want to play Fortnite, and we. I don't know. I mean, see, the funny thing is, you would think Mr. Pennypacker would be like, well, today you guys are going to play. Have you kind of noticed that though, Billy? He really hasn't been pushing the games like Milo wants to do. Like Milo, if he was truly in control, it would be about Fortnite and stuff. So, but with Pennypacker, he seems to get it. He seems to get it at least. I mean, he's still kind of a villain, but yeah, but I think he's an irrational man. I honestly think he's an irrational man. Well, I can see you're not a fan of his, but I'm just saying he does seem he's kind of a cruel man, but he seems to understand, that it's about those ethics. It's about good games and Fortnite is just about pew pew pew. It's about just running around and building stuff really quick, and it's the PUBG thing. That's the funny thing is, some people think Fortnite was like an original game, and it's like actually it was just a third-person version of PUBG. It wasn't. It was. I mean, I always kind of knew. Frater always kind of mentioned it. He mentioned back in like his true opinions of those games, and he says, "Look, listen, guys, like, listen, that um, there was always the possibility, that eventually they'll wake up to the reality that some people all they want is to be on an island, and they just shoot at each other all day." And corporations have finally woke up to this. And he says that real reality, there are no stories anymore with these kinds of games. They don't have stories because that's not the way the people want. They just want to keep playing 24/7, pew 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 on an island. And guess what? Big surprise. That became the biggest selling games of all time. Fortunately, but so really it's important that we resist. We resist this kinds of stuff, and we resist, we play Skyrim, we play these kinds of games. Have we even really done anything this episode? I mean, we went into that cave. Well, that's a funny thing is sometimes we just talk about our own thing and we're not even paying attention to the game. I guess what it is you're supposed to pretend like you're in that world. I think we've tried to do that here at Saturngrad sometimes, but I think it's like it's the mind of it. Someone who has ADHD, they can't stay in character for very long. It's just too hard. Well, go get paid for this job we just did. Let's see here. Took out that bandit leader. You really actually think about it, they don't even ask for proof that you were the one that took out those people. That's a good point. Basically, you sit and think about it. Well, you don't want to get that child talking to you. You know what? They won't shut up. But yeah, it's a good point, Billy. That basically you don't ask for like proof. Like actually in Ultima Online, they would put a bounty out for like a player killer, and you had to return the head or someone to a guard. So you know what I mean? Like you couldn't just like go to them and say, "Oh yeah, I took care of him," and meanwhile you didn't even touch him because they're not looking for any proof of anything. So it is a good point. But usually these games they pretty much are self-aware of everything that goes on in that world, even if there's like a bounty or something. You're not going to adopt a kid. Well, Billy, we're on the road 24/7 here. I mean, it's not like we can't be parents, but you know that is a good point. Like if you actually think about like why did they allow the player to adopt a child? Because if you actually think about it, you know, like you're not going to be at home with the kid. Uh, I guess they give you some games you can play with the kids, I guess, but I feel like they added that stuff later because they were kind of like pressured to. They were kind of pressured to do that, that to keep up with things like The Sims and other things, that because I knew, like, for example, Todd Howard, when this game originally came out, he had just before it came out, he had no interest in adding things like marriage to the game. But then when Pierre Molyneux, a very famous person here in Saturngrad, when Pierre Molyneux, he really pushed for this social aspect. The social aspect of people like Todd Howard, there was no point to, because you spend your time hunting, you spend your time leveling up, you spend your time making things. You don't focus on marrying NPCs. And in a world, in an actual world, that makes sense. It makes sense to not. This is a video game. This is the successor to Frogger. Okay, this is the successor to Pac-Man. This is not. This is not Matchmaker. Okay, but what it is it's just like we talked about earlier about keeping up with the world. If you don't keep up, you end up with only like 0 viewers, or maybe 5 viewers, or 8 viewers, or I mean, in some cases, yeah, there's some people that they work very hard, but the most they get is maybe 120 viewers, 140 viewers on Twitch, and they never break that. They never grow. They need to grow, and they can't. So we're back. We are the way the system goes. We come in. We sell. We sell some stuff to him. We buy iron ingots, buy iron ore. And start making stuff because you need it. Remember what the end game is. The end game is to build up your blacksmithing skills. You got to get that smithing skills up. And it takes a while. It takes a long time of grinding to do that. So, gotta keep doing it. Gotta keep on doing it. Well, Billy, about a couple minutes here, and that'll be another show in the can. Yeah, it'll be in the can. Of course, with what we've been eating today, we'll be in the can too. Ha! Yeah, good old poop joke. Yeah, good old bathroom humor. Wow. Saturngrad hasn't really done bathroom humor in probably 12 years, 13. Hey, it's really crazy when you think about it. We really haven't done bathroom humor in a long time. Well, yeah, we haven't, and it's gonna work on this iron armor, make it all nice and fine. Make these boots nice and fine too. No, we haven't done bathroom humor. I think it's just the way, it's just the way we do things here. Sometimes it's just we don't really, I don't know. I mean, probably in life, you think about life would be easier if you just made fun of taking a poop every once in a while. It's I equate life to. I remember in Return of the King, Lord of the Rings. There's a scene where Gollum. It's an origin story of Gollum, and Gollum is in the rowboat with his best friend, and he loves his best friend. They're laughing, they're giggling, they're having a fun time, and they're just playing games with each other. And then Gollum falls into the water, and as he's in down the water, he sees a ring, a very pretty ring that's crying out to him. He picks it up, and he's like something about it, and something about it. And and by the way, I probably am going to sell off all my stuff, including I'm probably going to end up selling all my supplies because I always do that. I always not everybody seems to do that. It's not just me. So yeah, so what happens with Gollum is when he comes out of the water, his friend is like, "Whoa, look at that! I want to see that." And he's like, "Don't you touch it! Don't you touch it!" It's like already, because it's an evil ring. The one ring that rule them all is very evil, and so it's kind of like the way I see the world is when you're just with your friend and you're both very low IQ. You're doing fart jokes and maybe drinking a beer here and there, going to church on Sunday, and it's like that's everything. But it's once you eat the apple, once you eat the apple, and Billy, and that's my lesson to you, Sean, is that you're eating the apple, and you're gonna learn how horrible the world is, how horrible human beings are, that human beings are literally like Chinese law, that they make all these rules to make everyone else think that everything's safe and balanced, and it's not. Because those rules really depend on those in charge. If they enforce those rules, they can literally just ignore it, and so, or they can say you don't have enough evidence. They always do that. Every time I tell you from stories I heard from Frater. Frater doesn't even get phased anymore. He says after a while you don't. You could either just punch your fist against the wall as much as you want. They're just gonna treat you like you're crazy. So what I'm saying is, I'm starting kind of going off on a tangent, but what I'm saying is about Gollum. What happened was he killed his friend over the ring, and then he became the monster that became because of the one ring. But the way I see the world is, Billy, is that when you're young, when you're a kid, and you're just you're making fart jokes with your friends and all that. Those are actually your best days of your life. It's once you eat the apple of knowledge of good and evil, the knowledge of good and evil, Billy, is not that no more that that well, we've kind of gone over, but who cares? I'll keep talking for a little bit. That basically, now that you have the knowledge of good and evil, you don't understand. Yes, you have the knowledge of good, but now you understand evil and understand the pros and cons of evil. Meaning, there's some people that are going to go very far in this world because they know when to be good and when to be evil. That's why the problem with the knowledge of good and evil, that's why it's best to never ever know what evil really is, because there are ways to become powerful from it, and it'll destroy your soul. Well, till next time, guys.